Hello everybody and welcome to the next game, the DelotA 2 Anima Tournament. I am Just Delicious and with me is Vague Raconteur, and today we have SADLA versus Aurum Stella.
Yes, hello, both two brand new teams that we haven't seen before, exclusive to this, well, not exclusive, hopefully they'll be coming back to us so shortly, but for February at least, this is the first time we have seen them and we're excited to see exactly how do these teams play. It looks like we don't have to wait very long because we're about to see the first ban by Aurum Stella.
Well, now we know what SADLA stands for, San Antonio de los Autos apparently, so I'll just call them SADLA. I think. That's a little too much for me. You heard my appalling German earlier. I'm not gonna attempt it.
San Antonio de los Altos.
Yeah, that was better than mine.
I like it. I think it sounds sexy.
It
okay,
does.
So Aurum Stella. It does. Aurum Stella goes straight for the Nyx ban, and can you understand why? Of course, we've seen a Nyx assassin being so useful. Strangely enough, though, every single game he's been picked out recently, people still going for Keeper of the Light on the opposite team, despite him being such a strong counter. And we've seen Nyx assassin just kill Keeper of the Light at least a couple times in every single match, so it's not the best option. So Aurum Stella may actually be going for Keeper themselves. It seems very, very likely when people are banning out Nyx, they often want to get that kind of double for themselves, but they have first pick. They do not get the first duo, so if they get up Keeper or if they get up Shadow Demon, the two most popular kind of supports that we see, then it'll be very interesting. But San Antonio de los Altos instantly just banning Enigma, and that's very depressing for JDNO because we are looking so much for a great ult, but not even that necessary because it really doesn't make that different. And actually Aurum Stella ban out Keeper as well, so they really don't like anything related to those two. But again, JD, why do you think they banned out Enigma?
Well, probably just because of his teamfight contribution. They also just don't like him. But yeah, banning out that Enigma means that they do give Aurum Stella either Batrider or Magnus, depending on which one they want. So maybe a little bit of an odd one, but they obviously just fear that Enigma black hole. They're obviously just not used to playing against it. They just don't want him. They just don't want it to be picked up. They ban out Chaos Knight instead. So they give Aurum Stella the choice of mid, and then they are going to be picking the other one. So they probably actually played that right, banning out a hero that isn't Batrider or Magnus, because we both know that Batrider against Magnus is good in mid, but Magnus against Batrider is good in mid. So it's kind of an even fight. So they're just giving Aurum Stella one, and then picking up probably Batrider for themselves, and then whatever support hero they want. But Aurum Stella banning out Nyx Assassin and Keeper of the Light may have been a little bit of a weird one. I suppose they just didn't want to give them both, because if they ban out neither, then because they only have first pick, if they pick up the overpowered hero in the pool that just happens to be Magnus, then they would have left SADLA with maybe a Keeper of the Light and Shadow Demon, or Keeper of the Light with Nyx Assassin. So that's probably their thinking.
10 seconds remaining.
Indeed, but wondering what exactly is taking San Antonio de los Altos this long to actually pick up the Batrider. We know how strong Batrider is. You'd have to be absolutely crazy not to pick him up. They actually go straight for the Vengeful Spirit first. A very strange person to pick, especially when Shadow Demon's still in the pool and Batrider, the two. Oh my goodness, no.
They're locking out. They're really locking out their tri lane because they really want to go for that powerhouse tri lane that we saw earlier on today. Actually, the Venge and the Luna in the tri lane together can work out very, very well. So they really just want to make sure they get that. And the Luna pickup early isn't particularly a bad pickup. I mean, she is a ridiculously strong carry, and she can really, really snowball. And she really only has one counter, which is the Life Stealer. And if Aurum Stella don't pick up Life Stealer, then it's almost certainly going to get banned out by SADLA. They don't. They decide to go for Darkseer and Chikiro. So two strong support heroes. Darkseer locking out their off lane, which means they're definitely playing Magnus in mid, and it still gives SADLA a chance to pick up that Batrider, because Batrider is still in the pool if they really want him. But you have to feel if they don't have anyone that really likes playing him, and they've gone for Lycan instead, so he's probably going to be in their jungle, and they're really playing this old school.
This is okay. No, San Antonio de los Altos going for the strangest, oldest style. This is maybe in the old version, but Lycanthrope has been so strongly nerfed. I cannot imagine this going that well unless they are so confident, and they'll have to be in that Lycanthrope pick, because they're just letting Batrider go. They still haven't picked up a mid. The bans have started, so it would make every single sense for Aurum to ban out the Batrider, because then they're just going to have a breeze in mid. But JD, what is going on?
Okay, one of the problems of Lycan in this version is that because of the extra mana for his wolves, he is very easy to gank because of his. He won't have his ultimate up when he actually gets to level 6 because he'll have to drain all his mana just farming. But they can actually afford to pick up a Lycan because Magnus is the mid hero, and Magnus is not especially good at ganking, especially in the early stages of the game. He has a shockwave for a nuke, but it's really nothing compared to some things like Batrider. And because Magnus has been picked up in mid, Lycanthrope can actually be picked up pretty safely by SADLA, and that's the way they're probably looking at this, that they can actually get him free farm on that bottom lane. There's not really much Aurum Stella can do about it with their current lineup, and they'll probably start banning out those big gank support heroes. There we go, the Sven actually been locked out, so they're getting rid of one of the strongest carries with the biggest stuns in the game, so they're really just trying to get that Lycanthrope in a free jungle, which the Magnus pick does let them do that.
Indeed, actually, you're right. This could well work. I mean, a Lycanthrope, we know how strongly nerfed he's been. He is not someone that you would instantly think of, but he could well work. I mean, it only takes a Lycan to just be able to get past that awkward early level stage before he really starts becoming as strong as he used to be. He's still not nearly as strong as he used to be, but he actually is more than capable of being a very great contributing hero and doing a lot of damage. But we have to obviously go to the bans, and they are doing just that. They're banning out every kind of hard carry with a great stun, and San Antonio de los Altos, I take it back. My initial shock has actually now turned into joy because I'm thinking these guys really know what they're doing. They've got rid of the Faceless Void, they've got rid of the Sven, they've got rid of the Naga, the kind of hard carries that really could cause Lycanthrope a problem in the jungle, and it looks like he's actually going to be a very viable choice. And again, you are right, Magnus cannot do anything against him. Really, he can send a shockwave his way, he may even be able to skewer, but he's not the fastest hero, and unless he really makes a great chance in mid, which he should do, he's a Magnus. Batrider's still out there, I have to say. This is madness to see a Batrider get this far. We've never seen him actually get past the first 2 picks ever, have we?
No, Batrider's normally always banned or picked in the first bans or picks, let alone get all the way through to the second picking stage. But if SADLA do decide to pick up that Batrider, that could help them quite a lot, especially against Magnus. It would let them have their Lycanthrope a little bit more safe, unless they decide to play that Lycanthrope on the off lane, like we sometimes actually see. He just farms up with his wolves and just harasses with them while he does what he has to do. So sometimes we see Lycanthrope on off lanes, but more than likely he's going to be in the jungle, which means that Vengeful Spirit and Luna will be on the lane together, and Lycan might come out for a gank or two. So Lycan, whoever they put in mid, SADLA, Lycan will probably be pulling the mid lane for them and giving them free farm, while the Magnus just sits there on absolutely zero levels and 0 farms.
Well, when you put it like that, exactly, it's going to be a very interesting, quite old, but a very effective tactic, and if it counters this Magnus, who is such a huge problem and so very powerful in this version, then San Antonio de los Altos might be on something fantastic. Aurum Stella actually picking up a Lich as their second trial lane support. Now this is one that we have not seen whatsoever. He's not very often picked in tournament because he can be quite easily countered, but again, the Ice Armor is fantastic. It goes well. It really, really helps because the second anyone starts being attacked on your team, you've got that slow. It gives the extra armor so that physical damage isn't so useful. But again, Luna is very, very magic based, so that might not be the best item, and she's very fast, so that is a great counter in that aspect, but magic resistance would be a bit more useful here.
Yeah, it does look like they're probably just going to put Lich on the off lane, actually, because he can do really well. And Beastmaster being picked up by SADLA, so SADLA really kicking it old school. Beastmaster is definitely going to be on the off lane, stacking the ancient camps, maybe for a Luna or a Lycan when they're a little bit more farmed. And we saw Batrider being played the other day to really, really good effect. His stun is absolutely ridiculous, and it goes through BKB still. So they're really going to be looking to catch out whatever carry Aurum Stella pick up now. And if we look at the carries, there aren't really. There's a Phantom Lancer left in the pool, but the 3 big carries being banned out by SADLA at the end. We had the Void, the Sven, and the Naga. So there are still a few choices for them. They still have a Lifestealer if they want to pick him up as a counter for that Luna, but Lycanthrope, and they go for Anti-Mage, which is a very odd choice, seeing that SADLA aren't really mana dependent, but they really obviously like the farm snowball ability of that Anti-Mage, and that would be really interesting to see how it goes. Spirit Breaker being chosen by SADLA, so we're in for a treat as they pick up Spirit Breaker.
This is the most. Sorry, big loads of lag there. This is the most old school team that we've seen, and we've seen both two Africans. That's fun, but and another one. The name escapes me. It was Extreme Rage. Pick up two very strange teams, but I have to say, JD, really think this Lich is going to take the offlane over Darkseer. The only way I can possibly see it, Darkseer offlane and Lich and Jakiro together with the Anti-Mage, which could work really nicely. If Anti-Mage throws for an aggressive mana break to begin with, Luna doesn't have barely any mana. This could actually work so nicely in their favour, just knocking her down a little bit. The slows will stop Luna from really escaping, and it could work really nicely.
Well, this is just going to be really interesting to see. Let's just run through the teams really quickly. So we have Tri-Blacks who will be taking up that Spirit Breaker last pick. Junior will be on the Luna. We see Slash Ripper on the Vengeful Spirit. Vital is just running out to his bottom lane on that Beastmaster, and there's the Lycan being taken up by, I can't read his name because it keeps moving. It's Rockmon.
Meanwhile, on the Dire, we have Gorjo on the Anti-Mage. We have Uprising on Jakiro. We have Caesar on the Lich. We also have Kuza on the Darkseer, and finally Raid Max on the Magnus.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting to see how this actually plays out, especially Spirit Breaker. I'm so interested to see how they decide to do it. It looks like they're going to be running Spirit Breaker and Vengeful Spirit on a lane together. The Beastmaster looks like he's going bottom. He might be solo with the Lycan in that jungle, coming up against a solo Darkseer. So that's going to be pretty. That's going to be an okay time for that Beastmaster. And Luna will be taking up mid. So this is really interesting laning, and interesting to see how both teams actually manage in this game, because the Beastmaster and the Lycan on a lane together versus Darkseer, they're going to have Darkseer penned down pretty much continually through this entire match. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. What I really want to see is whether this Spirit Breaker can really do what we see Spirit Breakers do all the time in pub, which is absolutely dominate, run around the map and just absolutely destroy pretty much anybody, because well, you know what pubs are like, and you know what Spirit Breaker's like.
Indeed, but against a tri-lane, of course, in pubs you only ever really see this 2-1-2 format, and this is by no means any pub game. Despite the very strange picking, Spirit Breaker has that amazing kind of potential to just get farm and not stop being the evilest mini-stunning sod known to man, so it really could go nicely in their favour if they get Spirit Breaker the farm. But against an anti-major Jakiro and a strange pick of a Lich, which, as I said, will be in the tri-lane as a secondary support, means that they could actually stop the Spirit Breaker. Was not expecting Luna to go mid, although looking at the heroes, who else was going to, really?
Yeah, they didn't really have anyone else to go mid, but Luna should be okay against Magnus. You can see that Luna's sitting at 2-0, Magnus sitting at 1-4. So Magnus is doing a really good job denying here, so he'll have the level advantage on Luna. But Luna's almost certainly going to have that farm advantage, especially when she starts leveling up her Q and her Luna Blessings, so she can harass a little bit more.
But I have to say, when it's dual v tri, it almost gives a huge advantage to the tri lane, considering they're going to have especially when they're on the tri is on the safe lane, because then they have the option to not only stack and everything else, but they have a lot more disable, which is really going to help them try and take out the Spirit Breaker and this Vengeful Spirit. If an Ice Path is successful, along with Lich's Frost Blast, it should give enough of a slow for Anti-Mage to just keep on wailing at them, which is really what he needs to do, and they could get a good double kill. And 2 versus 3, the advantage is obviously going to go to Aurum Stella.
Yeah, you would say that with how the lanes have worked out, they do have a slight advantage in that on that top lane, certainly, because it is 2v3 on the safe lane. But Beastmaster should be having an okay time against Darkseer. Darkseer's not going to worry him too much, I wouldn't have thought. He's just going to probably pot up now just to get back to full HP. But we can see Lycan just hanging around in the jungle, but the extra cost for these wolves is really hurting him, as we were expecting it to. There's really no way he can jungle safely on his own. Luna now actually moving down, so maybe they're actually going to go for a gank on this Darkseer while they have the time. Oh no, actually, no, actually I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Did Luna give him a tango or give him a pot? I think she might have given him a pot and just walked off.
She did indeed. It's a little bit risky. Lycan is by no means the most viable jungler anymore, but they are going to have to rely on him being able to come in quickly while the Beastmaster may pull off a stun or something like that when he reaches level 6, considering he's on the solo lane. And that's the real thing they're going to have to hope for, with his ultimate and Beastmaster's ultimate combined to get a kill on this Darkseer and possibly get him something, because jungling in Lycan nowadays is just a nightmare. And actually, we just missed Raid Max using a double damage to just kill this Luna. We know how powerful Magnus is in mid, and against a squishy Luna with Skewer, a double damage and a shockwave that he didn't even have to use, it really goes nicely in his favour.
Yeah, he did. I think he might have actually used the shockwave. He does have a ridiculously low cooldown, only about 8 seconds. But he definitely used the skewer, and Luna really just didn't last very long up against him. But you have to look at this anti-mage's farm. Actually, he's getting quite a lot of it. He's sitting at 12 and 0 so far. He's got the same amount of last hits as Darkseer on this off lane. He's having quite a nice time. And Magnus in mid on 10 and 11 and 10 now, so he's really denying exceptionally well, and this is why he's able to beat Luna so heavily in lane. He's 2 levels up on her now, so 3 levels up in fact. He's just hit level 6, and Luna's still sitting on level 3. She'll pop to level 4 as soon as this creep dies, but it's still a little bit of a problem for her.
Well, this is a problem. This is why we don't really see Luna in mid anymore. She's much better off supported, and obviously that stun being great, but not doing quite enough damage, especially against a very tanky Magnus. The advantage obviously goes to Magnus, but she's not doing well. She is doing a very bad job. She's going to have to just be able to be very, very defensive, keep very much power deny as much as she can, despite Magnus definitely having the upper hand on that. Luna's not denied a single creep, but Magnus has managed to deny 12 so far, so he's got the huge advantage in mid, and he's actually bottled a haste rune, so if he wants to go, he's got his ultimate, he could just take out Luna so easily again.
He could just go top and take both of them out pretty much just with his ultimate if he can pop the haste rune and just run up there really quick, because they're not going to know that he's coming. They're going to have no idea. And he's actually got, yeah, there he goes now. He looks like he might be going round the back to catch up both of SADLA players at top. And this looks almost pretty ominous now. Here, I assume the skewer's going to be coming now. There it is, and the reverse polarity catches them both. He doesn't have any more mana, but the ice path hits them, and it looks like they're going to be. Oh, they are both going to die. Magnus gets away with it just because he has the haste rune. Pretty much runs away from the tower, and really nice ganking by him, managing to get both of the kills. And Aurum Stella have really taken a fast lead in this fast early lead in this game.
They really have, but I have to say, what is this Luna doing? She's obviously just come up top to try and defend the tower, but very, very risky. She is not strong by any means. She has no kind of ultimate to speak of, and there is 3 up here. Magnus has now had to go into base, but Anti-Mage does actually have regen, so he's just instantly got his mana back. He's actually got enough for a Ring of Health. I'm assuming he has picked that up now, so he will try and be going for a Battle Fury most likely, or a Vanguard, and going for that more classic hard carry build.
Yeah, I can expect Anti-Mage will probably be going for that Vanguard straight away, especially against a Luna and a Lycan. It would make a lot of sense to get as much block as possible, just so that he doesn't get ganked continually. Luna's now just running it back to mid. She obviously feels like they can cope on this lane again. And we really can't see the Spirit Breaker doing anything. I mean, he's only level 4, and so's Venge, and they're both. They're both got absolutely 0 farm pretty much. It's 3-0 for Venge and 1-0 for Spirit Breakers. So that's really not going well for them whatsoever.
Well, Aurum Stella just have this huge lead over San Antonio de los Altos. If we look at the Spirit Breaker desperately needs farm, but he's a melee hero. Vengeful Spirit's range is very, very small, and the try advantage over the dual lane just completely dominates. San Antonio de los Altos are able to do absolutely nothing against it. They're going to have to gank so aggressively, but Luna isn't really capable of it because she hasn't even got her ultimate yet. She actually is just sitting there with 900 gold yet, and hasn't even bought boots, so she really needs to pick up that. Magnus has just kind of gone to the secret shop. He's got smoke, he's got his arcane boots now, so he's really where he wants to be. And SADLA's just not really doing enough.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say, I get a little bit confused when you actually say their name properly. I have no idea what you're talking about to start with. I think SADLA's probably the easiest thing to say, because I get really confused pretty easily. Beastmaster on this offlane is actually level 7 now, so he's actually doing pretty well for himself. He's the same level as the Magnus, and the Magnus has got 2 kills and an assist. Actually, Magnus has just got a level above him, but he's still doing really well, and he has his ulti up if he wants to try and get a kill. Wants to try and roam around the map and get a kill, but it's Lycan that's really struggling, still sitting only on level 3, nearly level 4. One more camp will get him there, but he really he can't do anything with how He's finally got his Ring of Basilis, but with how mana intensive those wolves are now, he really can't do anything. But at least he's had free farm. They haven't bothered trying to gank him yet, and Magnus in mid actually picks up another kill on the Luna, popping the reverse polarity skewer and using a shockwave to actually get it. But that's not what Luna wants. Not where Luna wants to be right now.
No, it isn't indeed. I'm actually surprised that Rockman hasn't really been ganked yet, but he really doesn't need to. Aurum Stella don't need to. SADLA are just not doing enough in any other lane, meaning that well, Lycan can free farm all he wants, but he's doing quite a slow job of it. If we look at his gold per minute, he's going so slowly, only 130 gold per minute, while the Magnus is just living it up at 315, and there's just the 3 top places are completely taken over by Aurum Stella. Same for last hits and denies. The only thing at the top really for SADLA is the Beastmaster's level, and his farm is not even close to it. He's just managed to pick up a bracer, but it's not really enough.
Yeah, but we've seen the power of the Beastmaster. As long as he gets farm, he can. As long as he gets some levels, he's absolutely fine. And so yeah, a little.
Forgive me.
Something happened at top, but I don't think it came to anything.
Yeah, something also happened at mid. Slash Ripper got away on just 15 HP as this Magnus used a double damage rune to just kind of absolutely kill him, but they slightly misjudged the skewer in Vengeful Spirits, which is defense. It just got away on the skin of his teeth. 2 things happening at once there, sorry.
Yeah, it was a little bit of. I hate it when that happens. We should let teams know that they can only do one thing at a time. Just make it easy for us. This top tower actually for SADLA is really not on a lot of HP. Their tier 1 can be coming down pretty soon. Yeah, there was a gank going on the bottom. I think the ulti was used by Beastmaster to pick that up, and a Slash Ripper coming around the back. But then really not on a lot of HP actually. So the Darkseer on himself nearly actually managed to take them both out.
I'm just gonna have to. I was trying to just point you to there, but the tri-lane being so aggressive, Anti-Mage actually just going pretty much dead. He might actually die from the tower. No, he survives on 1 HP. That is the closest I have ever seen go for a tower. He just gets a healing salve, stands back for a second and comes straight back. But Luna has actually gone for it, and she just Qs. Is she going to ultimate? Yes, she is. Is she going to get the Luna? No. Is she going to get the Lich? No, because she gets Ice Path. That was a complete waste of her mana, and nobody is dying on Aurum Stella's team.
Yeah, she just doesn't quite have the damage yet with her ultimate. It really didn't even scratch the Jakiro. So it's really looking like a little bit of a bad time. Look at Raid Max waiting in the side. He's smoked up. If he can get his skewer on, SADLA I think SADLA actually spotted him, and now they've backed off, because if he had skewered in from the side there, it looked like he may have had a few kills. We actually see a Slash Ripper coming from SADLA as well, so they have 3 defending, but there's 5 of them hanging around the end. In goes the Spirit Breaker. He's charging. He really wants this Anti-Mage dead. He has his ultimate if he wants to pop it. There he goes. Is he going to get the kill? No, because in comes Magnus with the reverse polarity. Catches 2, including the Beastmaster, which is very important, and they get the kill. Pretty much all of the kills, and now Slash Ripper. Is Slash Ripper going to get away? It doesn't look like he is. 1 extra right click from the Magnus gets him the triple kill, and really well played by Magnus, waiting for the perfect time to dive in and initiate. Straight through the Darkseer wall.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It was absolutely mad. If we just saw actually really nice play from this, really strange play actually from the Lich to try and alter the Spirit Breaker, didn't quite seem to realise how slow his ultimate is, and it just completely was wasted on him. But it didn't stop the Spirit Breaker from dying, because initiating like that was sure to give absolutely no effect. But he was just kind of left there in top lane. Vengeful Spirit went bottom to help out Beastmaster, who was having a hard time versus Darkseer. Ultimately, SADLA just cannot cover their back against Aurum Stella. They're being so aggressive, and they can afford to. They've only died twice. I mean, the Anti-Mage getting away on 1 health is just the luckiest thing I've ever seen, but they've got the confidence to do it.
Magnus has another invisibility rune, so he's going to be saving that until he has his ulti back up, and then probably diving back in. But Anti-Mage, it does look like he's actually making a Battle Fury, because he's got a Claymore in the courier that's coming to him now, and I can expect him to probably be going for a Battle Fury as soon as possible. He's got 300 gold. Saved up as well as those 2 parts, so he'll be looking to finish off his perseverance very soon, and then all he needs is the broadsword to finish that. and then he'll just snowball out of control. It's so ridiculously fast. Anti-Mage's farm is absolutely obscene when it gets to the mid game.
Well, if you look at the difference in gold earned graph and the distance XP earned graph, you can see how much skewed it is in favour of Aurum Stella, plus 5,000 for both. So they're really getting the lead, and this is a problem. SADLA needs to turn it around. They need to have a few good team fights. They have some decent team fight heroes, and that Beastmaster especially can completely disable the Magnus, something they really need to do because his ult is coming off cooldown. He has an Invis rune, he's activated it now, he's got a Blink dagger as well. Pretty much everything he could possibly want to have, he's got it right now. He's having the time of his life in terms of this game, and surely he won't just use it on Slash Ripper. Surely he'll wait. No, he does actually go right now. A missed skewer. Oh, that was painful.
Yeah, well, that would have been a very dead venge if he'd actually managed to pull it off. I apologise if we're getting a little bit of lag. I am getting a little bit of lag. It's because my brother sat right beside me has decided to start watching live TV on his computer, and it's really slowing my internet down pretty hard. But so he could just go downstairs, but I don't think he wants to. But a smoke gank coming through the trees from Aurum Stella. Are they actually going to catch them out? No, they're not, because they notice it in time and they back off. But the Beastmaster caught in no man's land. It doesn't look like any of them are going to get caught. In goes the Magnus. Reverse polarity only actually catches one. The Luna pops the ulti, and the ultimate from Luna is doing a hell of a lot of damage to pretty much all of them, but they all get away on very little HP. In goes the Lycan doing a lot of damage, and the Spirit Breaker actually doing more damage than I expected him to. It actually turns out being a 3 for 2. The Lycan trying to chase down this Lich. Is he going to be able to get him? The ultimate has actually come off now, so it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get the Lich. The Lich is so much faster with his Tranquil Boots. The Lycan may have overextended slightly, and another kill comes in for the Darkseer, and really nice play by Aurum Stella to be able to set up that. But it really did look like it was going to go in SADLA's favour at one point, but they all managed to just get away on very little bits of HP.
Well, it was a little bit strange there from the Lycan. He actually had almost 2,000 gold, and he just ran in there. Like, when you're diving in that fast, you really should at least set up a quick fire or something like that. He's actually picking up Vladimir's offering, which he had more than enough money for. So, very strange indeed.
Yeah, Aurum Stella, the gold graph really does look pretty ominous now. It's sitting at about 7.5k in favour of Aurum Stella, and the XP graph is sitting at about 5.5k in favour of Aurum Stella. So they're really playing exceptionally well. Magnus just waiting at the top of the He's actually backed off now, but yeah, and we can really see the power of Magnus. He's done exceptionally well, and he's sitting at 614 at the moment. He got killed in that last fight, but not before he managed to get that reverse polarity off and really do a lot of damage with his skewers, his shockwaves, sorry, because they really were damaging them quite a lot.
But we have to give some credit to this Beastmaster. He had a hard time against the Darkseer, and he's actually been using this whole kind of offlane advantage, keeping to himself to try and get as much levels as possible. I guess to try and go for as fastly leveling up that ultimate as possible, and it's really helping. It's the best hope for them to actually disable this Magnus and then take it down. And the second they do,
well, there's a gank.
SADLA have a good chance to get in the
gank coming in on the Lycan. They're smoked up. They know exactly where he is because of the wards. Actually, there's an invisibility rune on the Magnus. Is he going to pop his ulti? He's not. He's going to skewer and completely miss. Now the shockwave comes out. Are they going to get him? The ultimate now actually hits them both, but not before they actually manage to kill the Lich. In comes the Luna and the Spirit Breaker around the back. Are they going to focus down and try and kill this Magnus? In comes the Beastmaster. Is he going to scream? No, he's locked down by a really nice ice path by Chikiro. He doesn't manage to get his ultimate off. Now he uses it and just tries to run, but it's not going to be enough damage, and the Chikiro Markiplier was really doing a ridiculous amount of damage to pretty much all of them in that fight there. It just melted them.
Well, it's just players seem to be getting away on such little health. You saw that Vengeful Spirit there. The shockwave could have very easily killed him, but he actually got away on about 20 health. So these teams are just either coming so close to death or just slightly dying, and the problem is Aurum Stella just keep coming a lot more close to death than actually dying than SADLA. And SADLA really need to keep turning around those fights. They're getting a few kills now, which isn't a bad thing, but Beastmaster completely wasted his ulti there. Really should have used it earlier on the Magnus, but couldn't quite get it off.
Yeah, I think you just missed the Magnus getting the gank at bottom on the Luna. He used his blink dagger and his skewer to pull her away from the tower, and she was dead in a few seconds with this Darkseer and Chikiro lurking around, and it looks like Aurum Stella just want to take out this tower now. And Magnus is really doing very well on farm. He's going to definitely be going for his
bottom tower
definitely going for his
has
refresher
fallen.
orb as soon as he can possibly get it, and that's going to be a massive problem for SADLA. Since they're in a little bit of a sticky situation with this Magnus as it is. But him having 2 ultis means that even if he misses one, he can afford to do that because he's got another one.
Although, strangely enough, the Magnus has actually gone for drums.
He's actually
Trying to go for that team move speed, which does make sense because Aurum Stella's playstyle at the moment is ultra aggressive. They are not holding anything back. It's a little bit risky, but it is really paying off in their favour. And so those drums will help them just kind of get in there and get out of there a little bit faster.
I think they might be wondering about lag a little bit, but the server was set to automatic, so it should be exactly the same for both teams. In, whatever the lag is, apparently it's being called out as the South American one. But regardless of what it is, it should be finding the best one for both teams, which is they both seem to agree that it's okay. But yeah, now Anti-Mage just farming, now that he has his Battle Fury, farming SADLA's jungle, so he's denying this Lycan anything. Lycan is sitting at level 9, he got a few kills, he got a kill and a few assists earlier, but he's still not having a very nice time. It's just too slow at the beginning of the game trying to jungle with this Lycan, and the Venge swap actually does nothing, and a really nice ulti beat from Beastmaster catches the Magnus, but they don't respond to it. It's not got a very long cooldown, so we won't have to wait long for it to come back up. But yeah, the nice swap by Vengeful Spirit actually managed to save her life against that Magnus, because that skewer was definitely going to hit her.
Yeah, it was really nicely played actually, just kind of going straight through him. What is Magnus going to do now? He has so much. He's just been able to farm so easily because we know how powerful Magnus is in this version. It looks like he's trying to just wait to get off the perfect skewer. They could be this bold. We've seen Aurum Stella be so bold in this match that they could just try and dive in right at the tower at some low health, a couple of prods maybe.
He's got a blink dagger. He's basically just waiting for them to actually stack up, and then he's going to dive in because he has sight of them, and they really don't have any sight of him. So as soon as he knows they're all together, which they are now, we're going to see a blink any second. I can feel it from this Magnus. They're just waiting to push this lane out, get some creeps up by that tower, so that the tower doesn't start wailing on them. But yeah, SADLA know about it now, and they're all just walking around in their jungle, making sure the Magnus can't jump on them.
Yeah, and Rockman just keeps on farming, which is exactly what you need this Lycan to do. Lycan only is really of any use in this version when he starts to get a lot of farm. He's extremely farm dependent for a jungler, something that makes him quite weak in the early game, but very strong late game because he still is amazing with a Skull Basher.
Yeah, he can be pretty insane if he gets that Skull Basher. So. He's probably just going to be looking to try and make anything to try and counter this team. He just needs as much damage as possible at this stage, but he can farm freely now with absolutely no worries whatsoever because Aurum Stella are really just trying to keep them all occupied at mid. But this does let the Lycan farm quite a ridiculous amount. He's now sitting at 1k gold. He's doing okay for himself, but nowhere near as well as this Anti-Mage who's really pulling away with it. And then there goes the reverse polarity, and the skewer actually catches 3, and they take them out in a few seconds. And now they're going to be looking for the tower. They were waiting for the right time. Nice gets actually called because of how well played that was. The Ice Path actually manages to miss. The Magnus comes over the top. Are they going to get him? No. They're just going to turn around and focus on the Spirit Breaker. I don't even think they're going to want to bother trying to get the Spirit Breaker, are they? Yes, they are. They're not going to focus on the tower quite yet. They sense blood. They've got the Spirit Breaker. Now they're going to turn around and take this tower. The creeps are wailing on it, so it's going to die ridiculously fast. Lich gets the last hit, and now they're moving on. They're going to move on to the next tower, but another ridiculously good reverse polarity and skewer, pulling 3 of them away from the tower, and they got the kill.
Well, I have to ask, do you reckon this is the most aggressive and bloodthirsty team we've seen? They stop for nothing. The Anti-Mage already has his Battle Fury, he has Power Treads, and he could just get whatever he wants right now. He's probably going to go for a Manta Style, considering that's like the best item for an Anti-Mage you can really get. But
yeah.
Again, they just have free control over this tower, and SADLA can't really do anything. If we look at the gold graph, it's 15,000 in favour of Aurum Stella. So, and the XP graph, the same kind of story, about 13,000 in favour of Aurum Stella. They can't really do much, but SADLA are actually
they've gone in now.
Breaker into charge. He's actually going for the Lich,
Yeah.
but he cancelled it. They didn't really want to go for it, and an Ice Path completely misses, apart from just Slash Ripper running to run into it in the end. They all seem to be just charging back for this mid tower, and just kind of regaining their ground, which they need to do because they were pushed back so heavily.
Yeah, Aurum Stella are really playing extremely aggressively, which is kind of what they need to do because they got a very slight. Once they got a very slight lead in this game, they really capitalised on it by picking off heroes and using that Magnus to the best of his ability. So really nice play by Aurum Stella to be able to do that. His Anti-Mage is still just free farming, really. He's almost got his Yasha up. I think the Spirit Breaker just saw it. No, actually, no, they didn't see each other, and nothing's going to come of that. But the rest of Aurum Stella are now coming in now. We actually see Darkseer and Magnus getting ready. They really want to kill this Lycan. They know exactly where he is. There he is. Are they going to get him? One Surge will probably get the kill if they can really do it. The Magnus does have reverse polarity if he wants to use it. He blinks in, expecting them to be there, but they weren't. And now the Anti-Mage has got caught out pretty horribly, and he gets killed in a few seconds. There goes the Skewer. Is he going to pop the reverse polarity? No, he gets stunned just in time. Really nice play by the Beastmaster. Now they're going to try and take out this Darkseer, but the Jakiro around the back. Really, really nice play. The Ice Path caught them all. The Lich ultimate, and a fight that looked like SADLA were going to easily win. All of a sudden, a few seconds gets turned around just because of this Jakiro and Lich.
Well, the Jakiro is the absolute decider there. The Ice Path was absolutely perfect. It worked so well with the Vacuum and the Darkseer ult, and then just having that Macropire down gave Lich the perfect opportunity to just kind of Frost Nova, make sure they're all slowed, so that works so nicely with the Jakiro. And then using his Chain Frost, again, even nicer. They're all slowed every time they're hit by it. The 7 jumps of just insane damage, and SADLA completely had it turned around in them.
Yeah, they really weren't expecting all the supports to all of a sudden be there, because it looked like Aurum Stella had lost that fight, and then out of absolutely nowhere, they got it back, and a few big ultis from their support heroes really did do the job for them. Oh, really nice. Ice Path actually catches the Beastmaster, who doesn't have his ulti up, but the Spirit Breaker is charging. He is going to catch. The Lunar ulti gets popped. It's going to take out the Darkseer. Now the Lich on the back. Can the Spirit Breaker get him? 1 second till his ulti. Spirit Breaker looking to try and get this Jakiro. Really nice Ice Path by him, but the ulti gets popped from Beastmaster, and Jakiro gets taken down as well. So a 3 for 0 there for SADLA, and that's what they need to start doing to get back into this game. They need to start picking off the supports when they're on their own.
Well, it looks like they're deciding that the only way to fight fire is with fire. We've seen how aggressive Aurum Stella is, but actually it does leave them open to a great counter-attack, and that is exactly what SADLA are doing. They're waiting until the carries have moved on, the supports being a little bit slower, obviously Anti-Mage having that blink, Lycan just moving straight on with his ultimate. They can catch them when they're off guard, and if Aurum Stella aren't careful, SADLA could easily just jump straight back into this match.
Well, you can see that the Magnus might actually blink Skewer. No, he's used the blink dagger, so he can't, and he's actually used the Skewer as well. But he's now looking towards. He's got his Oblivion Staff, so now he's actually definitely looking towards building that Refresh Orb as soon as possible. Lycan in the jungle, just using his wolves to do as much as he can. He's building his BKB. He's got his Mithril Hammer, but nothing else for it quite yet.
Exactly, and the second that Lycan gets that BKB, then it's going to be a big problem for Aurum Stella. We saw how much damage he could do to that Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is a very, very squishy hero, and actually Magnus worked so nicely, was taken down quite quickly as well, so Lycan could actually be the pick that was shocked us, but could be the saving grace for SADLA. Especially if he keeps on farming like this. If we look at gold per minute, he's not doing the worst job. He's completely behind all of Aurum Stella at 250, but it's the best farmer on SADLA, and that is exactly what he needs to be doing. He just needs to keep going into the jungle. His wolves are at full level now, so he's going to have an easier time, and this is what we need to see. But actually, we have all of Aurum Stella just kind of grouping up around Roshan. They look like they're going to be going for
it's a really nice, really nice ward here. It's definitely going to spot him out. All they need is Jakiro to hit this Ice Path. If it lands, they've got him. No, it's slightly behind him, so he's going to easily get away now. He has his true form. He shapeshifts, so he can just run away if they get anywhere near him. Now they've dived him. It looks like he might be popping it. No, the reverse polarity, really nice played, and the Skewer straight back into the middle of them. The Ice Path is going to catch them both, and they're both going to die. Really nice play by the Magnus before the ulti was popped from the Lycan, and now it looks like they're going to be going straight for a Rax.
Oh, there's just so much nuke so quickly. Aurum Stella is able to take out SADLA so very quickly. It just all depends on their initiate, and luckily they have the Jakiro to pick up if the Magnus falls a bit. Magnus misses a bit, and they have the Magnus to pick up if the Jakiro falls a bit. Not to mention that Darkseer as well. If any loose ends are caught, that vacuum can really help clean everything up. So they are just having a great time, and SADLA are really, really struggling to do anything about it.
Yeah, SADLA aren't having the best time in the world, it has to be said, although they're all back up now. Just they don't have the reverse polarity, so maybe they just won't go for this tower at all. Maybe they'll just leave it and concede the fact they're probably not going to get a base tower. No, they're actually all hanging around. Maybe they still do feel that they can actually do something. The Darkseer still has his wall, the Lich still has his Chain Frost. No, they've actually backed off now, and they're just going to leave this Anti-Mage to free farm as much as possible. He's now almost got his Yasha. He needs about almost got his Manta Star. Sorry, he needs about 300 gold, and he'll have that up.
Absolutely, but then this Lycanthrope isn't far.
Maybe they're going for
his,
Roche.
BKB. They are indeed going for Roche. It looks like they have Magnus tanking it. If SADLA knows about this, this is the perfect opportunity for them to just dive in, let Luna ultimate. She has that ultimate up. So does Lycan. If he runs in there, it's going to be absolute hell, and he'll be able to earn more than enough for his BKB, which will cause a huge problem, especially for people like Magnus.
It looks
Even
like they
though
know.
Stun goes through, he won't be able to pull them all together.
They know the Venge wave.
For it.
They're not going to get it in time. They're not going to get it in time. Anti-Mage picks up the ultimate. The Aegis. SADLA goes in. Junior goes in with his ulti, but it's not going to work. The Darkseer wall catches them all, and the reverse polarity was used to get them. And 4 for 0 in a few seconds. There's the Skewer pulling the Spirit Breaker back, and a few nukes later, it's a 5 for 0 wipe plus an Aegis, and it really doesn't look good for SADLA now.
No, that was really bad. Just Luna just waited far too long. They should have all run to it. They knew about it in enough time, but they hesitated, and that second hesitation meant that there was no real confusion. Aurum Stella were just able to get straight back into it. And what else can you really say?
Yeah, but it's nice to know that SADLA are having a good time though. They're laughing about it. They're I don't know exactly what he said, but it had something to do with Roshan. So yeah, it's nice that they're enjoying it. But another nice pull by the Magnus gets another kill. That Skewer with the Blink Dagger is just such an effective way to get kills and to pick off people when they're trying to push a base tower. That he's using it really well.
He is indeed, and it's just this is the power of a Magnus. He can completely win a game. He actually has 2.8k, so surely he's actually got an Oblivion stuff. He's probably going for well, he could be going for just about anything, but supposing he's going to go for an Orchid Malevolence just to try and stop Beastmaster from using his ultimate.
I would guess a Refresher Orb with that Oblivion stuff.
Oh yeah, forgive me. Sorry, Oblivion stuff is also in Refresher Orb. Sorry, it's been a very long day for us here at DelotA.
Oh, it really has.
Bottom tower is under attack.
The Magnus does have his reverse polarity up now though, actually, so if they wanted to try and dive this tower as soon as they have some creeps, they can afford to. What was that just got given to the Jakiro? Oh, he's got a Veil of Discord, so the nuke damage, if it wasn't enough before, it's going to be absolutely insane now, and it's going to completely melt them. So if you can hit one good reverse polarity, anybody in that reverse polarity is just going to die. There's almost no way they're going to be able to survive. And now they're at the top, Magnus hanging around the bottom. Do they have sight? They do have sight, so if he wants to blink in and try reverse polarity, here he goes. Right about now, the reverse polarity catches two. Veil of Discord popped on them, and look at the damage that it's doing. That is absolutely insane damage. Nuke damage after that Veil of Discord was popped on them with the Darkseer wall and the Macro Pyre.
Well, still the strangest team composition I've seen. Choosing Lich over a Shadow Demon was absolutely mad, but why didn't SADLA go for the Batrider? It's the best kind of counter they could have possibly had against this Magnus, and now SADLA just have no choice but to let Aurum Stella completely destroy it. Only Luna has enough for buyback, and Luna can't do anything by herself because, let's face it, she just doesn't have any items. She got an Overclub for BKB, but she does not nearly have enough for Mythril Hammer. And
the GGs have been called already.
The GGs have now been called. They know Well, they
it
know
looks
that
like
they can't stop it now. It's just gone way too skewed in
Yeah.
Aurum Stella's favour.
Yeah, Aurum Stella Aurum Stella have taken the win, so really, really nice play by them. Or have they? Because SADLA look like they're actually playing on. So maybe they haven't conceded quite yet. None of them have disconnected, but Aurum Stella are going to keep wailing on the racks regardless. In goes Lycan with his ultimate. He's going to be trying to take out Magnus. He's not going to get him because of the skewer and the Jakiro with the anti-mage. Get the double kill. Get the double kill below. Now the Lycan and the Spirit Breaker gang up on Jakiro. Managed to get the kill, but look at this. Anti-mage so farmed. He kills the Lycan, and now he's turned around and he's going to be easily killing the Spirit Breaker as well. Triple kill for the anti-mage, and now you imagine they are probably going to be disconnecting. But a really, really nice play by Aurum Stella in this match.
Radiant's top barracks are under
Yeah, they just went so aggressive that it was absolutely insane. Again, that Lich choice a little bit strange, but again, just for pure offense, it allowed Chain Frost to help with Macropire, and when you actually think about it, it was a great bit of team composition.
Yeah, it really was. They did know exactly what they were doing, and it's a shame that the Lycan probe didn't really work out, because he was getting quite farmed by the end of that game, and he was actually standing toe-to-toe with the anti-mage and managing to do a lot of damage to him. So if he'd managed to got a little bit more farm at the beginning of the game, maybe he would have been able to turn this match around, but as it stood, he really couldn't do anything, and the reverse polarity killing more, just kind of rubbing salt in the wounds a little bit. But yeah, well, would you actually believe it? This has been the shortest game of the day, and it's been 34 minutes, so it's been a pretty tremendous day match-wise, and it's really, really nice to have been able to cast them all for you. And we are back tomorrow with a brand spanking new, I believe, 5 games tomorrow. Hopefully they'll all be as entertaining as the ones we've had today, or I don't think me and Vega are going to be able to make it.
Absolutely, it's been just non-stop. We've had a few bit of delays and everything else, which is why we've had such a very long day here at DelotA from 9 AM, which was meant to be the start of the match, actually. Sorry, that was Fiat Lux couldn't make it because of a